just like a broken record, same old songs of accusation play. Like who are you to speak the truth? Just look at all your failures and mistakes. And if they really knew you, there's no way they could love you anyway. Oh, but I will fight the lies with the truth.
Hello, and welcome to the Send Help Podcast, a podcast and a lifeline for moms who are stuck in the trenches of mommyhood, bringing them encouragement through Jesus, laughter, and sisterhood. Starting 2021 off with a bang, ladies and gentlemen.
A bang in my ears.
Bang.
Y'all, I had to take the headphones off my ears for that hello.
We're back.
And now we're back from 2020. It's just as worse here. You thought it'd be better. I can't rhyme.
But
on
we
the spot
both
like
knew that it wouldn't be.
I know.
I would not be surprised if we had an alien invasion.
Okay,
Christy's gonna go on her.
seriously. Did I tell you this? Okay,
Tasha and I have been laughing about it for days because you said superhero 18 times. You were so tired.
was it in the middle of the night that I said it? I don't remember.
No, it was on the way
Anyway.
home from taking your children to school. And I was like, we were both like, go to bed, Christy, go to
I
bed.
know. So, y'all, we have started watching the DC movies. I will leave my opinion of the DC movies out of the
Horrible.
commentary. But we were watching Man of Steel. And I looked
No,
over.
it was Man of Steel. You said Man of Steel 18 times in this Marco Polo. Okay, Christy has had no sleep whatsoever throughout the entire Christmas break.
Pretty much.
And she was trying to tell us this that she's about to tell you, but you have to imagine it with her saying it over and Man of Steel, Man of Steel, Man of Steel, Man of Steel.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that Marco Polo.
It was like, you need to stop driving and go to
I
bed.
know. So we were watching Man of Steel. And I looked at this, I was
Was
like,
it Man of Steel?
It was Man of Steel. I was like, this is what's going to happen next. This is the future of 2021. Someone is going to come out of the woodworks in Kansas and tell us that they are from a planet called Krypton and that they have super strength and can fly, and aliens are going to come in and try to take over the earth, and this one man's going to try to save us all. The Man of Steel. Like, I will not be shocked or surprised when the next thing that happens is aliens.
Because that's what he was.
Yeah.
The Man of Steel.
The Man of Steel.
Okay. Well, I got something to piggyback off of that one.
Okay.
I'm going to set the scene for you.
Yes.
Last night,
Oh. Yes.
3 a.m.
Oh. I'm usually up at 3 a.m. also. You could have called me.
Yes. Well, I was halfway awake, halfway asleep, just trying to keep the dog quiet.
Right.
Because I didn't want her to wake up Josh. And he's
When they
not-
bark, when they need to go outside and you go running into the room, waving your arms. Gosh, I'm coming.
He's not been sleeping like at all.
Oh.
So it's just been like, anyway, he was sleeping last night. 3 a.m. Dixie starts to bark at the foot of the bed. And we're like, what? So, we're both just trying to keep her quiet.
Yeah.
And Tim's like, what is it? Now, at this point, I am from a dead sleep. So my recollection was not at all what Tim informed me of this morning. So I'm going to give you the Tim version of what happened.
Oh, yay. The accurate version.
Yes. He gets up to go and check and see what's happening because Dixie won't stop barking. And I feel like we probably tried to just suppress her
Yes.
for a while because she's been barking at weird things like our 2021 balloons. She was barking at those the other
Oh,
day.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway. Okay. No. 3 a.m. There's barking. Tim gets up to see what was the matter. The doorknob is jiggling. Yes. He goes to the door. He looks through the peephole. No one is there, but the doorknob still jiggling.
What?
Yes. It stops. A few seconds go by. The doorknob to the back door starts jiggling. Like full on whole handle going down. Tim, in his just woke up, highly excitable, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
Thing. I apologize for saying hell, but that's where we were. Dixie's still barking. I'm trying to keep her quiet. Tim says that I just put my leg on her and fell back to sleep.
Smother the sound out.
I just went back to sleep. I just suffocated her. But, okay. No, for real. Okay, so our back door has a window.
Yeah. Yeah. Did he open it?
No.
No, I wouldn't either.
Out the door, and there's no one there. There's a shadow in the distance. And he's like, something is there. What is it? But then the doorknob still going up and down. All of our doors are locked, you know, like, so that's not a thing. Like, it's not coming in. He looks down and he makes eye contact with a very large cat. And then he looks past the cat and there's something black in the distance. And Tim's like, someone has trained their cat to break into houses.
It was an actual cat burglar.
It was a cat burglar. They make eye contact. He's like, I'm not opening the door. My wife will die in her sleep. The cat's like, let me in.
No.
Goes back to the front door.
It doesn't matter if you're allergic to cats.
No.
Never open the door for a cat that can work the doorknob itself.
Yes.
And makes eye contact.
Tim takes string from our balloons that said 2021 and wraps it around the doorknob all the way up. Like, he rigs the doorknob to be in an upright position.
So that it can't jiggle anymore?
So it can't jiggle it. Then the cat goes back to the front door and starts working it again. Dixie's flipping out. Tim's rigging the doors so that the cat can't move the handle.
So this is why when I got here tonight, he was like, hey, as long as it's not a cat,
I know.
you can come in.
That's exactly why.
I was like, why would you think I was a cat?
So we straight up had a big cat trying to break into our house. Now, this morning, leaving for Josh, get him to school, 2 hours late, my sweet neighbor's daughter comes out in tears and she's like, have you seen the cat? In my head, the cat was black because that's what Tim told me. The cat was not black. It was the black lab was in the distance, but he couldn't see the lab. He could just see movement. So, I don't know if they've found Kraken. That's the name of the cat, is Kraken. So, you know, it's big.
Yeah.
It was an orange cat, pink little heart, tag on the.
I was like, how did you see its heart?
Pink little heart tag on its collar. I've seen this cat. It's not a scary cat, but 3 a.m. when they're trying to come in the door.
Now, okay, but did they train the cat to like let itself in and out?
No, I was like,
let's let the cat out.
Really
it can come in on its own when it's ready.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure that Tim said it was a black cat. And she's crying and I'm like, oh my gosh, well, let's post it on Nextdoor app. Let's find out. She's like, I've been going house to house. We can't find Kraken. And I was like, well, what happened? And she's like, she can open doors. And so she left and she let the dog out too. So Jax and Kraken were running around the complex at 3 a.m. And I don't know how the door got closed. I was very fuzzy on all of that. I was trying to get Josh to school.
Well, the dog probably closed the door behind him.
She goes, the last time he got out, he broke into someone's house. I was like, it was definitely cracking. Anyway, so if anyone in this apartment complex has a cat,
large orange cat trying to break into apartments.
Yeah, I know where it lives. Call me. It was crazy. It was the craziest. And so I called Tim and I was like, what color was the cat? He was like, orange and white. I was like, it's Tiffany's. And he's like, I knew that was Jack's in the background, but in the middle of the night, he's like,
tell.
He's like,
Yeah.
that could be a person who's just waiting to pounce once their cat opens the door. Like, he's got the whole conspiracy theory in his brain. He's like, someone has taught their cat to break in, to test all the doors, and this person is going to run at me.
Which ones? Leave their doors unlocked.
This cat is going to run at me, and the guy is too, and he's just out there waiting.
Oh, man.
Could be a black hoodie. Could be a black lab. Don't know.
Don't know. Oh,
so
man.
That was our excitement last night.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You can't make that up.
No, you can't. And he's like, I didn't know if you recognized what was going on. I was like, I had no idea that anyone was jiggling the door handle. I just remember him getting up, me trying to keep Dixie from barking because I didn't want her to wake up Josh. I put my leg on her, and then I told Alexa to play ocean wave sounds.
Right.
And I went back to sleep.
You sound like Dusty. The roles would have been reversed in my house.
I thought that Tim was back in bed when I did that, but evidently not. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It was greatness. Anyway, how's your Christmas? How was your everything?
I know it's been a while.
It has.
I know. Okay, so on the New Year's Eve live, when you asked me about my Christmas, I was like, I'm not ready to talk about it.
Yes. Are you ready yet?
I mean, I might as well.
Can you Cliff Notes it for us?
I will Cliff Notes it. PSA for all you Santa Clauses out there.
Santa's helpers.
Santa's helpers.
Oh, yeah. I know that much.
When the package arrives 2 months early, don't just throw it in the closet.
No, you need to open it.
That bad boy up and see what's in it. So that on Christmas Eve, when you're getting everything out, you don't have a mental breakdown.
Yes. I don't know how I forgot that, but now I remember it very clearly what happened to you on Christmas Eve.
I tell you what. A whiskey glass is not a Cinderella dress.
No, it is not.
No. So luckily, I have brilliant friends who have a stockpile of toys for gifts. So when their kids are invited to parties, they don't have to go shopping. They just have, like, they stock up when there's sales.
It must be amazing to be a planner like that.
Right?
And to have expendable income to do so.
So one of my amazing friends, who, by the way, is a mom of all boys. So the fact that she had this is a miracle from God.
No kidding.
She had Barbie dresses that matched what Santa was supposed to be bringing.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah. So at 9:30 on Christmas Eve, we're driving to her house to pick those up. And there was a brilliantly worded letter from Santa himself
Wow.
explaining that while the elves could make the dress,
He has to outsource.
the mice make it better,
Oh, that's wonderful.
but they're slower.
Yeah. They're tinier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was very excited a week or two later
When the mice finished
when the mice finished
and Amazoned it.
and no, I was in such a panic that we legit got the
Ordered it straight from
we
the
ordered it
North
straight
Pole?
from
Wow.
the castle
Wow.
because I was
Not
in
gonna.
such a panic.
Yeah. Amazon did
And,
not do all the things that Santa told
Amazon
him to do this year.
Failed Santa
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
So it was then outsourced to the castle.
Right. Right. Well,
It came wrapped in
Gus does it better.
Yeah, it came
Yeah.
wrapped in Cinderella tissue paper and everything. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's even more special
I know.
and more expensive for Santa.
I know.
That's a serious outsourcing.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Legitimate panic attacks happening on Christmas Eve. So, regardless of whether you're afraid the kids are going to get into the boxes,
You got to open it.
open them.
Or at least shake it.
Open them.
Is this too heavy?
I will always check Amazon packages now.
Amen.
Your Christmas was a big deal.
Our Christmas was a big deal. It was. We gave Josh the gift of a sibling.
Yeah.
The gift of a promise of a sibling. Yes, I am not pregnant and I do not have a child in my arms right now.
Right.
But we started the process with Gladney back in late September. Man,
It feels like a really long time ago.
it was a long time ago. It's January.
Yeah. Like mid-January.
Y'all, I haven't kept a secret this big in a really long
You
time.
haven't. You're really bad at keeping
I'm
secrets.
so bad at keeping secrets, especially when it's exciting. I mean, I did tell you and Tasha right away
Yeah.
because I couldn't keep it. I mean, I had to tell somebody. And then we told my parents, 2 months into that?
Mm-hmm.
In November? No, after Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was, it's been quite the thing. But we gave him a shirt that said, Big
So
Brother,
cute.
we're adopting. And it's so funny. We took a video and he's reading it, which blows me away still that my kid is reading.
He's reading the shirt.
Yeah. He's reading the shirt. And as he reads Big Brother, he looked over at me like, what? And then kept reading. It's like, we're adopting? He's like, we're adopting? He's like, a kid?
A kid? I know. I cracked up at that part of the video. A kid? No, a donkey.
Yeah. I like that he's checking, though.
Right?
He's like, who'd we get?
I know. They're not here yet. It's not like you're going to go open the front door and they're standing there waiting to
No.
hug you.
No. I'm like, but we had been talking for months about how long adoption takes and everything. And I mean, he wants to just walk right up to the Pythian
Yeah.
home, knock on the door and take somebody home. That's how he thinks it goes. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. He's like, that doesn't make sense at all. I'm like, I know, kiddo.
He's watched Annie, though, so
I know. But
legitimate
yes.
thought process.
Yes, we prayed and prayed and prayed. You guys know we have talked about wanting a baby. We've talked about trying for a baby. We've talked about infertility issues. We've talked about all the things. And the Lord really pushed us forward with adopting. And you guys, I honestly, in my mind, believed that us being able to adopt a baby and raise $55,000 would be more of a miracle than me getting pregnant after being told I had a 1% chance. You know, like
yeah,
that for real.
yeah.
And so the fact that the Lord said, this is the way that I want you to do it, I was like, whoa, okay. You know? Like, I thought, well, we're going to have to foster to adopt because we can't afford it. And the Lord was like, no, this is how I want you to do it. I mean, we eventually will probably foster, especially we want to foster older kids one day when our kids are grown. But this is the way God has said to do it. So we're doing it and we're just walking it out in obedience. And then Tim got a promotion and now we get to start looking for houses. And it's like, what is happening? It's amazing. I'm still in a lot of disbelief that it's actually going to happen. But I know that God, like, I have a harder time believing that we will pass our home study than I do that God will raise the money, which is crazy pants.
Yeah.
And I get that. But it's still in my head. That's where I am, which, you know, okay. When we told my parents, it all clicked in my heart. And I am the kind of person that will not believe that it's actually going to happen until like the baby is in my arms, just like you are when it's like, I'm not going to believe that we're going on a vacation until we are at the Magic Kingdom.
I'm that way about a lot of things. And I don't know why. It's not like my parents were like, we're going to Disney World. And then they took me to like the grocery store carousel.
Yeah. Well, that
didn't happen.
Right.
So I don't know why I'm like that, but
that's how
I really
I've
am.
been about everything, and especially this. But when we told my parents, I mean, I'm going to tell you guys, like, I know how crazy it sounds because I am not pregnant with a physical baby. Like, but immediately we hang up the phone and I feel something in my tummy and the Lord just brings the verse about how John the Baptist leapt in Elizabeth's womb when she met Mary, when Mary told her that what God had done. And it was like, I mean, you know, because then Marco Polo'd you, because I was like, I'm like, my chin is wavering. I'm hysterically crying. Tim's like, are you okay? And I'm like, it's happening. It's actually happening. It's gonna happen. I don't know why I think it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. God told me, like, this is real. This is real, you guys. This is real. It's real. And I'm just like hysterical, and it builds and it builds and it builds. And I tell you what, like, I have been baptized in the Holy Spirit before. I'm a holy roller. I've fallen out in the spirit. I've been slain in the spirit. I've been drunk in the spirit. You name it. This was all those things balled into one. I didn't like pass out, but I was shaking from the inside. It was crazy. It was a moment I will never forget.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way when I found out I was pregnant with Josh.
No.
Mm-mm. I was scared to tell my mom again. I was scared to tell her then, and I was scared to tell her this time. I was married both times. There's no reason that I should be afraid, but I was. And it's not because of her. She did nothing to make me feel that way. I just had it in my head. So, no, it was just crazy. It was amazing. And we finally got to tell Josh, and then we got to tell the world, you know, and it's a big deal. But let me tell you, I mean, God has already done miracles.
Yeah.
We needed $500 by like the weekend when we were doing our training. And we didn't have it. And I was like, oh, just found out we need to give $500 like the day of training. And we were like, okay, so we're going to need to pray. Tasha's like, you're going to have to just tell everybody. And I'm like, I can't tell everyone until I tell Josh.
Right.
You know? And Mike and Jackie at simplymadeshop.com. I'll just plug it. Went on the down low, basically, and didn't say it was for us, but they raised the money in a one-day sale.
Yeah.
They gave us $500.02. Or was it 25 cents? I don't know. But it was like, God was like, and above, you know.
Right.
But then that night, we went to church, and they handed us $500. And then we got our donation of $300.
Yeah.
And so it was like, God was like, I got this. And I was like, okay, I guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
And people keep saying things like, you know, this is a kingdom baby. Like, this is a kingdom baby. And like, it's going to take the kingdom to get it to you, but God that's a plan for it. And I just think that's amazing. So it brings me to my word for 2021.
I know you've told me, but I don't even remember. So
Well,
I would like to reiterate though that if you're going to do the garage sale fundraiser, you need to do it like next week because I need to clear out my house.
I don't have a place to do that garage sale fundraiser, and I don't have. It's not organized.
Just claim
yet.
a place.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like take the flag and stick it in the ground.
Yeah.
Like this is my territory today,
Right.
and we're going to have a garage sale on it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Totally. Why
I mean,
not?
what are they going to do?
It's fine.
Call the police or something?
It's not like police care. Yeah. Well, we prayed about it. You know, we've been praying for our word for the last about month. You know, just been asking the Lord, and I've just kind of been dancing around this word. And I first heard it, and was like, no. I was like, that came from me. You know, just how you dismiss that thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then, so I was still working on it, and I thought it was another word, and I was like, that's definitely me. And then the Lord is just like, when I heard it again, I started crying, and I was like, well, I guess that's it. I kind of feel like there's a second part to it. Last year, I got 3 words, but Tim has even been praying for a word, and he got a word. And when you put our words together, it's like, what?
Does it make a compound word?
No, but that would be cool.
Oh.
That'd be way cool. No, okay. So my word, I believe, is restoration, which makes a lot of sense. But I've been also really meditating on joy. And I feel like joy is a word for the world. And for, anytime, so every time somebody's like talking to me about things that are in their heart or whatever, I'm just like, joy. Like, God wants to bring you joy this year. Because it just seems like it keeps coming up.
You know, it's entirely possible that God could bring a word for a work that he wants to do in you, and also a word for a work that he wants you to do in others.
Right. That's real good. That's really good. Yeah. Well, last year's words were steadfast, prepare, and glory. And prepare and steadfast sure made a lot of sense. A lot. And he brought it up all the time. And I didn't know that we were preparing for this, but should have been preparing in the physical more for this. Have you seen this room? But we have been. He's been preparing our hearts, and he's been preparing our faith and preparing the way. And I know. And we've had to we had to be really steadfast in our faith. And that has been the thing that I have held on to, is being steadfast.
Right.
Like in belief in the Lord and what he can do, and that he's got this. Not this, but everything. This that came up this year, it was like, he's got this.
Yeah.
And glory is a little more personal.
Well, glory is a little more personal, but at the same time, it's not at all.
Right.
Because
there's a big glory that we've seen.
Yeah. Well, you live your life in such a way that, I mean, really, honestly, I don't remember what your words are. I'm not that great of a friend. But
Yours was measure.
I know. I only had one. It's kind of not fair. Anyway.
You didn't know any of mine.
No, I didn't. Every time that song, which I am not even going to be able to say anything of the song other than it's a male singer. I'm so good, y'all. And he says, as long as you get the glory.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what song I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. Well,
keep talking.
But every time that song plays, and it's been, half of last year, whenever I actually started leaving my house again and was in the car to hear the radio. From that point on, you get the glory from this. There's, an extra word.
Is it
to help
you get
you?
the glory?
Possibly. I don't know. As long as you get the glory from this.
I don't actually know this song. I don't think I've ever heard this song. But
no, you've heard it. I'm just not explaining it very good.
Are those the lyrics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
it is called You Get the Glory.
Yes. Hashtag winning. But anyway, every single time it comes on, I think of you.
You do? I need
Yes.
to listen to this song now.
Because you are very, what's the word that I need to use? What's the word? What's the word for this second, God? I want to say like adamant, maybe. That's probably not the correct word. But like you are very adamant to always, it's not the right word, but it's the only one coming to my mind.
But I like this word.
You always point it back to God.
Yes.
So
I do try and do that.
You do. But like you're very conscious in it. Like whatever it is, like
Adamant
raising
that
funds.
God gets the glory.
Yeah.
Hey, I used your word in
You
a
did.
sentence.
Word of the day. Try to use it in a sentence. But like raising the money for Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Through all of that thing, like this is crazy. We're not going to be able to nope, God did it. Like that is how you present things when you're talking about them. Like, well, it seems ridiculous and crazy, but nope, God did it. Like that's just how you are.
It's true. I am. I'm very much that way.
Yeah.
I just don't ever see it until afterwards.
And it doesn't really matter what it is either. Like, well, God did that. So, I mean, like, it's just, that song is very fitting for you. And therefore, I feel like glory was a very fitting word for you because God gets the glory from everything that happens in your life. Like you always give him the glory. I mean, that's how I see that word working out in your life.
It's really good when we talk.
So,
because I don't think of these things.
I mean, I don't, in your mind, you may have been thinking like personal glories and victories. Like I'm going to have a win this year, but it was 2020. So
I always
diamond in the rough
said it was for his glory. I thought it was like be steadfast and prepare for his glory to be shown. Like that's where I was going with it. Well, and it is
because you're adopting a baby now.
It's true.
You were steadfast.
It's true.
Still can't remember the other one, and we're talking about it now. But
then after this,
yeah, that's
what I thought. I mean, that's where I've been stuck on glory being a proper name.
Ah, well, yeah. And it is a proper name.
It is.
But
it is.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my 2 bits on glory being one of your words for 2020.
Wow.
So there you go.
Well, you just showed me a lot of stuff I didn't see.
Yeah.
So, hey.
Yep.
Hey.
Yeah.
Tim thinks that his word for 2021 is blessing. Yeah. And he's been going back and forth on it too, going, that can't be it. But I keep thinking it might be. But he's like, but that can't be it.
There's a little boy. I don't know how little he is, actually. He's probably like a tween. in Africa, and his name is Blessing. And he had an injury at just a few months ago. Crazy concussion. Went through horrible, horrible things. Like had to be taken out of the home and placed with. But anyway, his name is Blessing.
Wow.
And it's been amazing. I don't know why this popped into my head, but because it's his name. But it's been amazing to watch he like going from having to be hospitalized in Africa, which is a big deal. They don't really do that.
No.
To everything that he went through with like night terrors and seeing things and just craziness.
Yeah.
And then wondering like, is this his new normal? And trying to work with that and deal with that. And then all of a sudden, one day, he's totally fine now.
Wow.
And when they talk about him, they're like, this is our Blessing. And oh yeah, his name is Blessing.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Fun fact. If Tim had been a girl, his name would have been Comfort. I believe his name would have been Comfort Bethlehem. But Comfort nonetheless. I know. Your brain is exploding right now.
Is. It really is.
I'm pretty sure Bethlehem was in there, but I may be wrong. And Joanne, if you're listening, I apologize. But yeah, Comfort. I know. Instead, he's Timothy Adriel.
Timothy. I mean, that's a good one.
All right.
I'm going to go all kinds of places.
It's
with that.
your turn.
I know.
Drum roll, please.
I feel like I am really bad at this. So, I mean, I had the same word for like 6 years.
That's right. But you weren't really diving into
not
finding a new one.
Diving into finding a new one.
No.
And I never really felt.
I know. We're doing words wrong
We
today.
are.
It's fine. And we're talking about words.
It's
fun.
It's fun. I never really felt like I accomplished anything with that word. That word was strength. That was my word for like 6 years.
Yeah.
I still feel like that word is flailing out there somewhere.
Well, I mean, I could tell you some things about strength in you.
Well, yeah. So when we discussed it last year, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll pick a word.
Perhaps you needed it throughout those 3 pregnancies.
Maybe. Man, that is stalking the pond. Someday we will talk about my pregnancies. But last year, talking about words.
Gonna write it down
I
right
was
now.
still like, I don't know. I think this whole picking a word thing is kind of hokey. And I don't know how I feel about it. And I don't know if I'm going to buy into that whole thing. But I picked one, and I picked measure.
Yep.
And I didn't like dive into it on a regular basis and really grasp the whole like concept of measure.
Every single verse that you came up
I know.
with off the top of your head had
the
measure in it,
measure.
and you
I
had
know.
no idea, or a form of measuring.
I know. It's ridiculous. It came up so often, and I have thought of it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
That I'm like, okay, God, which version of this word are you wanting me to get a hold of?
Every day is different, though. That's what with steadfast and prepare, there's so many different ways that you could say, oh, this is what he meant. This is what he meant.
Right.
The truth is, I think it was all of it.
I do. For most of the year.
There's a different portion for every day. Your
I know,
measurement.
my measurement. Seriously. For most of the year.
Yeah.
Which really I'm going to say all of the year, because I think it was just last week that I had this other thought, which wasn't in 2020. So the entire year, I was basically thinking of the word measure of like, what am I willing to put in? Because, you know, the measure that you put in is the measure that you will receive. And I think that that was kind of the verse that I stuck with on what measure am I going to put into whatever aspect of my life. you know, kind of like the whole you reap what you sow thing. So like, what am I going to put into it?
That is your very legalistic way
I know.
of thinking, though. That's not God.
I know.
I mean, I think that there's a tiny bit of that was God.
Yeah.
Because he showed you
Because
a lot
he's
of
like,
truth
hey, you
in
need
that.
to spend some time on a few things this
But
year.
I'm going to let you finish, then I'm going to come back to that.
So what I kind of ended on a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it may have just been this weekend.
It could have been yesterday.
It could have been
We don't know.
yesterday. What day was yesterday? I don't even know. Okay.
It's Monday today.
I really did have that thought this morning. I was like, wait, am I taking all of my kids to school? I don't know. But the thought that occurred to me at some point in January was that it's not my measure, but it's God's measure. So, because I mean, it's his measure. It's his measure of forgiveness. It's his measure of grace. It's like, I mean, it's his measure. And I would very much rather use his measure of things than mine. Because he's a lot more giving than I am. I'm a little stingy.
You know who you're the stingiest most with? Yourself.
Oh. I was thinking of all kinds. I'm stingy with a lot of things.
No.
Like letting my kids play with glitter. No,
Okay,
don't
you know
do
what?
it.
You know what? You got to speak to me about joy. I want to talk to you about measure.
Okay, I didn't talk to you about joy.
I mean, no. Whoa, it must be another word. Glory. Glory. You're talking to me about glory.
Lori.
This year it's joy. No. Okay. You measure yourself against what you think yourself should be all the time.
I do.
You are so hard on yourself, which I think is fitting for the word that you think that you're supposed to have this year.
Yeah.
Because I believe 1000% since you said it a couple weeks ago, that is definitely your word.
Right.
Because you need to learn that one.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
It
Which
will trickle out to other people.
It's true.
But it's mostly
I need it to.
about you, though. Because you have a very unfair measuring stick. You compare yourself to the image of who you thought you were supposed to be in your head. All the time. Like what your life is supposed to look like, how you're supposed to look. Like I'm supposed to have actual clothes on today. Only a really great mom. And I think that this goes to, I mean, I feel like the reason that we're talking about it right now on a podcast is because that we all need to stop doing this.
Yeah. I mean, all the moms on TV get dressed every day.
Well, especially this year. This year specifically. We have made it through an entire year, basically. It's only been like the last 9 months, but an entire pregnancy of a pandemic. And we're still going. You guys, we have all made it through 2020. Okay? We did it. We're through it. It's now 2021. It's a totally different ball game of the same players. So, and the Man of Steel is going to show up any minute. But because we can't say Superman. Why? I don't know. But we've got to stop comparing ourselves. We're not necessarily comparing ourselves to other people. We're comparing ourselves to the picture that we had in our head that we were supposed to look like as a parent and what a real parent and a good mom looks like. It's not real. It's not real. You're Instagram lifing yourself.
Right?
It's like you're comparing yourself to a fictitious Instagram account of your life that's been played out in your own eyes, in your own mind. You're like, that's what I'm supposed to look like. This is how I'm supposed to handle this situation with my kids. This is how I'm supposed to act towards my husband when he gives me that look. This is the way I'm supposed to cook dinner. This is how I'm supposed to wear a bra every single day. This is how I'm supposed to not wear the same clothes 4 days in a row. This is how I'm supposed to shower every day. I mean, okay, you guys, I started watching some throwback shows in the last couple weeks because there's been nothing on TV.
Right.
Started watching Doogie Howser. Which, first of all, I want to say I have no idea how I was ever allowed to watch this show as a kid, because I did a lot.
Did too.
But the first, like, other than the overtly sexual conversation that they're having and the way that grown women are coming on to this 16-year-old doctor, throwing themselves at him. Like, the fact that the thing that caught me off guard the most, and I was like, I rewound it to show Tim, because he never watched Doogie, because his mom didn't let him watch any of the things I got to watch, even though my parents were very strict. So let's just say that.
Would you be watching this if Jesus were sitting next to you?
We had the thing cut out and it was taped to the TV. It said, if Jesus were in the room, would you watch this on TV? Like, would you be watching this show? It convicted all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Every single person.
Yes.
Yes. But anyway, I'm watching Doogie and his mom, who is also a working woman.
Yes.
Is serving her two boys, her son and her husband, who are talking about this beautiful woman that they all know, and about, she's saying that she had plastic surgery, and they're talking about how gorgeous she is and how there's no way that they're the same age, the mom and this woman, just totally ripping her left and right. But I am taken aback by the bounty of the Garden of Eden, full of she's making a salad. She's just making a salad. She has 22 tomatoes that are at the peak of ripeness. She's cutting up 2 heads of lettuce, a head of cabbage, a purple cabbage, a green cabbage, a whole thing of broccoli, a whole thing of cauliflower. It's just all out. And there are 5 vases of fresh flowers in her kitchen. She is completely head to toe dressed. Hair is perfectly coiffed. As high as God can handle it. She's wearing pantyhose, a pantsuit, and heels. And she is cutting up this bounty of vegetables. And the minute I see it, I'm like, that's not real. Just the fact that those tomatoes are going to go bad tomorrow.
Yes, they are.
I'm like, that's not real. That's $200 worth of produce right there. It was insane. And then I was like, so much. How many flowers does this woman have in one room of her house? I'm like, who set designed this? And my mom was like, because we talked about this, she was like, this is the way that we all believed it was portrayed, that this is what this is her life.
Right.
And I'm like, how? I'm comparing myself to the way my mom dressed.
Right.
When we were growing up. She always had a bra on. Mm-hmm. Her hair was always done.
Yep.
She always had makeup on. When it was high holidays, Valentine's Day, we had a huge spread, totally decorated, whole 9 yards.
Right.
We did it before school. Before school, we all sat down and had breakfast. How? I don't know.
I don't either.
I ask her all the time, Becky, how'd you do this? How? Did I just not know that you weren't wearing a bra? No, I know you were wearing a bra, because I know.
Yeah.
But we are doing this to ourselves. We are measuring ourselves against a yardstick that is not even real. Not other people. We're good at not comparing ourselves to other people. We call ourselves on it.
We do.
When we do it, we're like, oh, gotta stop. But we do it to ourselves. You do it to yourself. I do it to myself, but you do it a lot, because you say it out loud to yourself a lot too.
I do.
And God wants you to stop doing that. Even your relationship with him, you're measuring against a fictional relationship with him that you think that you're supposed to have. And that brings us to your word for 2021.
My word for 2021. So here we go again. SimplyMadeShop.com. When Jackie ran the sale on the prophetic keys.
Yes.
I think they're actually.
They're giving keys, but they do it in a prophetic way. You don't choose your word that's on the key. They choose it for you.
Right.
Yes.
So I saw the giving keys. I was like, oh, that sounds really cool.
And you're like,
I
someone
wonder
should buy
what
this for me.
Yeah. I wonder what word
I can't buy
they
this
would
for
pick
myself.
for me. No. And I wouldn't have, but she did a different sale every day, I think, for the 12 days of Christmas or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was one of them. So when it was the one, I was like, oh. And then I went and talked to Dusty about it. He's like, that sounds really cool. I think you should do it. So I did. And the whole time I was like, I wonder what my word is going to be. Now I cannot wear a key around my neck.
No.
Like I had it on for we opened it on the live.
About 7 minutes.
Yes. And I had it on like every time I would lean over, it would like lean. I couldn't handle it. I'm not a jewelry person.
No, it's not the right length for me, but I did get myself one too.
Yes.
Keep going.
Yes. So like the whole time I had such anticipation because I'm like, it's not just something that I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah.
Like someone, I'm going to say like a few more times, someone else is choosing it for me.
Yeah.
So it has to be from God because they don't know me.
They don't.
They don't know me. And they're going to pray about it and then pick a key for me. I was so excited. And then when I got the word, I was kind of like, man, crap. There was a big part of me that was like, crap. His word was grace. The word was grace. And then you and Tim were both like, oh, that's spot on.
Yep. And you're like, I don't know.
I don't know about that.
And Tim, I handed him your card and he was like, yep.
Yep. Which the card also like on, because they're like note cards that have something printed on them. And then she wrote it on the back. So the thing that was printed on it was like, you're a good mama. And I was like, okay.
And here's proof that they're different. My card said, you're so enough.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how enough you are.
Yeah. So because that was not a word from me, I feel like that's the word that I need to go with and embrace. Plus, there is a scripture that has the word grace and measure.
Ooh.
So that kind of sealed the deal for me.
I think you need to dig
grace.
into what grace really means.
Yeah.
Like the Webster's definition.
Yeah. And there was one of the days that all of the kids were gone, I watched several different teachings. I think I watched, it was like 3 or 4 completely different people. And they weren't even all from the same time period. Like some of them were throwbacks.
Ooh.
And they were all about grace.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to just read you a bunch of different definitions.
It's also my child's middle name.
Oh. It's also the child that I want's middle name. Okay. It's a noun. Grace. So like his grace, her grace, your grace, graces, all those things. The first definition is simple elegance or refinement of movement. She moved through the water with effortless grace.
I do not possess that.
But it could be the way that God moves.
It's true.
Okay. Courteous goodwill. At least he has the grace to admit his debt to her. An attractively polite manner of behaving. Social graces, right? In Christian belief, the free and unmerited favor of God as manifested in the salvation of sinners, and the bestowal of blessings. A divinely given talent or blessing. I think that part is a little off the mark, Webster's dictionary. The first part was not, but the divinely given talent or blessing is, yeah. A period officially allowed for payment of a sum due or for compliance with a law, condition, especially an extended period granted for special favor. A short prayer said, or of thanks said before or after a meal. The verb do honor or credit something or someone by one's presence. An attractive presence or to adorn. I like that. That's cool. God could really use something with that one. Anyways, it's just, there are so many different things so many different ways that I feel like he wants to show you something in every single one of those. And then, I mean, that's not even like looking in the concordance for all the things.
Right.
Grace.
I feel like I would get a little overwhelmed if I tried to look at all of those.
I would do like
maybe there's not as many as I think there are.
Maybe there's a verse a day.
Maybe.
That'd be cool.
It would.
Be a cool breakdown of study right there. A study of grace. And then dig in to every one of those verses. Not all at once. Just one at a time.
One at a time.
Just one at a time.
Over the next 3 years.
I wonder how many there are. Man. I don't know. It'd be real easy to just say, I'm just going to focus on God's grace. Because he didn't say God's grace. He just said grace.
Yeah.
And if we're going to measure every word, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that one. Anyway, I just think it's really, really fitting.
It is 100. Wait, hold on.
100,000?
171.
That's not that bad. That's not even a verse a day. You could take weekends off.
It's different for each translation, but...
Ooh, you should do the Passion Translation. That would be fun. It won't be as many either because there aren't as many books of the Bible that have been translated into the Passion.
All in the New Testament.
It doesn't surprise me.
3 in the Old Testament.
Don't start on those first.
Look at those after you have a good handle on grace.
You need to really know. You need to know what grace is all about before you go back. So I am really excited to see what God's going to do there for both of us.
Yeah.
This year is a wild card.
It really is.
It is.
Anything can happen.
Will they or won't they? We don't know. It's 2021.
Anything goes.
Is it a thriller? Is it a romance? Is it a comedy?
Sci-fi.
We don't know. It's in Christy's mind.
sci-fi.
It's going to be a sci-fi. Actually, I mean,
come on. Would you be surprised?
No. Nothing would surprise me right now.
Nope.
Nothing at all. It's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
A roulette table, if you will.
It really is.
I know. Anyway, I'm just excited that we get to journey through this year with you.
Yeah.
Wonderful listener.
It's crazy because this is our second New Year's.
I know. This is the first episode of season.
I don't know.
4.
4.
Yeah. 4th season. We just wrapped season 3.
Yeah.
Crazy. This is going to be S4E1.
Yes.
What? All right, you guys. I mean, it's already snowed twice in 2021. That's crazy.
Not in my house. That's fine.
That's all right. You saw snow twice.
We did.
It's 11 days in because right now it's January 11th. It will be coming out on the 13th. But right now it's 11 days in. We've already had 2 days of snow. So anything is possible.
It's true.
All right. What I know is it's not going to be a Hallmark movie. We're already not in a Hallmark movie. Maybe it'll be a dramedy.
Probably.
Who knows?
More than likely.
Yes. Maybe yours will be a romance out there. You never know. You could be falling in love with Jesus or falling in love with your soulmate.
It's true.
Yeah. We'll be praying for it all.
If you fall in love with Jesus, both of those things will be accomplished.
Boom. That's a truth bomb right there. That's where we should stop. All right. Well, we want to know your words. We will go live soon.
Yeah.
And talk about words.
Yeah.
So
Maybe Friday.
you got to have it by then. Yeah. We love you. And we're excited to do 2021 with you, no matter what it looks like. So follow us on all the social medias at Send Help Podcast.
Yeah.
Not the.
No, sendhelppodcast.com.
Is our website. Check that out. But
social medias at
Send Help Podcast. Anyways, keep an eye out. We'll be out there. Who knows when? We love you. Happy 2021. Bye.
Bye.
The lies with the truth. Whoa, keep my eyes fixed on you. I will sing the truth into the dark. I will use my fighting words. Oh, fighting words. Oh, I'm so tired.